Hello lovelies, welcome back to the channel. I may be in my attic right now, but this is another studio decorating vlog. So yes, this is the video we've been waiting for. This is the video where we're gonna see some like decent changes, and I for one am excited. Alright, so I rambled on for way too long here. Let's maybe try this again. Hello lovelies, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another studio decorating vlog. This is it. A lot is going down today for anyone who was at all disappointed by the last vlog because there weren't a huge amount of like visual changes to the space. I'm about to make it all up to you. The entire space isn't like complete or anything, but things have changed. So before we get into that, let's just have a peek at like how we started out, like what we started off with, just, you know, to really nail home how much things have changed. So here's what we were dealing with before. So if you remember from the first video, my studio is split into two halves and we'll have two completely different decorating styles between the two. One is going to be very pink and cutesy and one is going to be sort of spooky, naturey, witchy, that kind of vibe. So a decorator came because I realized there was a bunch of things I could not do alone, and he put up the lining paper for the entire studio. So everything, the lining paper was put up everywhere, which is great because I could not do that alone. And while he was here, since I had the paint, he also then painted the naturey, witchy, spooky side of the studio. So that was almost completely painted, except for a couple of bits that I will show you as we're talking about. But so that side was almost completely painted. The other side is still blank because I don't have the paint yet and I need to finalize my color choices. I didn't actually record him decorating because like I didn't want to be like, hello stranger, can I film you while you do this? So instead, let's just cut to this. Okay, so I just arrived at the studio, but the decorator has been, which I'm going to show you now, and we're kind of seeing it for the first time together because I haven't looked at the side that was painted yet. And whenever I left on the day it was decorated, it was still drying, so it looked all patchy, so it wasn't the full like proper finished effect. So we're gonna go, oh, it looks so good. Oh. And now for the before and after of that, here we go. This is the difference that we are working with, which is very exciting. Very, very happy about that. So almost this whole side was painted. There was one wall that was left unpainted, but we'll get to that in a moment. You can see that here. And then the other thing was like some bits around these windowy things were not painted. Again, we'll get to that soon. On the pink side, that didn't get painted, there was a slight hiccup. Luckily I caught it in time, otherwise it would have been absolutely tragic. Everyone I've explained what I'm doing to this studio to, I lost my words, you know what I mean, has gotten confused. Everyone has just not fully understood what I've meant unless I've showed them pictures. So I had my suspicions that something would probably go wrong during this decorating adventure. And so on the day that he was here decorating, I was waiting up in Jake's studio just so I could be nearby if he needed me. I was sitting and I'd waited a while and I was like, you know, I want to go down just to make sure everything's okay. So I was like, I left my mask down there. I'll go get my mask so that I can go to the shop and get something to drink. So I walked in and let me I saw this and I was immediately like, and like before I could say anything, he was like, I don't think you're gonna have enough green to do this whole room, you know. And I was like, you're actually, you're not actually supposed to be painting this side green. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, what? And I was like, let me explain again. So if I hadn't have been paranoid and come down at that exact moment, I would have come down at the end of the day to find the side that is supposed to be pink in the future completely dark green, which would have been a pain in the ass to deal with, and then the side that was supposed to be dark green, there wouldn't have been enough paint to finish. It all would have been very upsetting. Thankfully I caught it, so now there's just a few random patches of green around the room, so before I paint pink I will just go over those in white, so it's not a huge problem right now, but it could have been oh so very bad. And then to finish up the painting on the spooky side, as I mentioned, one wall was left blank and there were some touch-ups. My friends Leah and Amber actually came down for the day and they helped me do a bit. So they helped by painting the brick wall that was left blank, so they did that in the bone color while I went around and tried to carefully go around all the little bits of the windows that they had done and around the door frame with black as well. I didn't film that just because we were just hanging out and I kind of forgot until it was almost done anyway. But yeah, so don't worry, if you'd like, you know, painting footage, there will be plenty of that when I do the pink side, I promise you. But that was just a little bit that needed finished up anyway. So yeah, now the painting for that side is complete. let's see what else has changed. Background change. I am now in my comfy hanging seat, if you remember this from the previous videos. However, this is no longer the only seat in here. I finally, after searching since literally I got this room, found a sofa, which turned out to be a bigger pain in the ass than I ever could have imagined. For one, I had a very specific idea of what I wanted, and I just wanted something really big and deep and squishy and soft and nice. So I had to find that. The biggest problem of all of it though was finding one with the dimensions that would fit perfectly into the space that I wanted it to go. If you missed it in the first video about getting this studio, I'd made like a whole floor plan where everything was going, so you can check that out for reference if you like. But yes, finding a sofa that would fit perfectly in that space turned out to be so very frustrating, and it took a very long time, but eventually I actually ended up finding one on Facebook Marketplace and I jumped at that. So now we have a sofa. Let me just show you. Actually, no, wait. Come back. Not yet. Quickly before I show you the sofa, I want to go over the pros and cons of this sofa. So obviously it was a second-hand one off Facebook Marketplace, so the first big pro is that it was so much cheaper than getting one new. I'd actually been looking at one online that was almost exactly the same as this on the DFS website, which is like a sofa website. The one I ended up getting is just a slightly different model, but like almost the same model, and it's a different color, which we'll get into that in the cons. But basically for roughly the same one that I'd seen online, I would have ended up spending almost £1,000 more if I had wanted to get the one I had been looking at online brand new, which, you know, is just too expensive. So whether I was willing to spend that or not, technically I've saved like £1,000, so that is already one big pro. Another pro then, of course, is the fact that it's very similar to the one that I originally wanted, which is great. Fits the space perfectly, big, comfy, cozy, great. And then the other big pro is the fact that it was available now. Whereas the one that if I had have been willing to spend that extra £1,000 to get brand new off of the sofa website, I still don't understand why, but it would have taken 15 weeks. I would have had to have waited 15 weeks to get it, and I was like, no. Like that. So yeah, those are the pros. So on to the cons. So the first one is, and let's have a look at it, is not the color I wanted. I wanted black. This is obviously a brown color. Now honestly, see, whenever I first got it, I thought this brown was like really, really ugly, and I was like not happy, but I had plans to deal with it anyway, so it didn't really matter. So like that first con, it doesn't really matter. Although I'll get back to the color in a minute, because now after like things that you'll see, but it's actually not that bad in this space. It doesn't look bad with the color palette, and you can't see a lot of it anyway. But I have actually ordered a sofa cover that I've been waiting for bloody ever for, but like the tracking hasn't updated in like a month, so I don't know what's going on with that. That's been like one of the things that has been holding this vlog up, was because I wanted to get like the sofa all like ta-da, done within this video, but it's just not showing up. But I'm actually not really hating the sofa as it is now, so I'll try the cover whenever it arrives, but it's honestly not really needed. But so we'll get back to that in a minute. We're still in the cons. So yeah, the color isn't the color that I wanted. That was one of the cons. The other one of the cons was the woman that I bought it from. When I was messaging her, I was like, hey, does it have any stains or anything that I should be aware of? And she's like, no, there's no stains. There are no stains, and it's been professionally cleaned. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So I got there with the van to pick it up and everything, and all of the cushions and everything were like put into bags to make them, you know, obviously easier to carry, all these massive cushions, and then the base was all disassembled. That was fine. Got it back here, great. Pulled out all the cushions, assembled the sofa up to have a look, and lies, complete and utter lies. The amount of stains on this thing was ridiculous. I could not believe the sheer amount of stains and like how she had lied to me. So I was super unamused with that, but like whatever. So it's fine because I had a plan to clean it. Step number one was to wash the crap out of all the cushion covers. So I wrestled those off of the sofa, which was incredibly difficult. And I'd seen this thing on TikTok where you like fill up the bath with water and then you put in borax and baking soda and you'd like dump all your laundry in, and even if your laundry is supposedly clean, it like leaches all the gunk out of it. So I did that, and oh my god, I literally like just put these in and pushed them down, and it's already going gross. Oh my god. This is the second soak. It was gross. So I did that twice. I gave them 2 rounds of that like bathtub leaching thing and got everything I could out of them, and then I put them in the washing machine to finish up. Now I didn't think that would do anything for the stains. I figured the stains were stains and I was just gonna have to deal with the fact that it was gonna be stained forever. But actually I think all the stains are gone. It worked so much better than I expected, and now there are no stains. So that actually turned out better than I thought. Step number 2. Obviously I wanted the entire thing to be as clean as I could possibly get it to be, so I absolutely annihilated the entire base of the sofa with Shake and Vac. I don't know if you have this in other places or if it has a different name or whatever, but it's like this stuff that you usually sprinkle on carpets and you leave it for a while and then you vacuum it up and it like helps clean and remove odors and leaves things smelling like fresh and nice. The sofa itself, it didn't smell bad or anything. There was no like gross smells, or else that would have been much more than I could handle, but it was just for the sake of like really doing as much as I could. So I did that, absolutely covered it in the stuff and left it for a while. The next part of step 2 was having my entire day ruined when I came to then the vac part of Shake and Vac, and I tried to vacuum it all up only to realize that my vacuum had broken, which led to much frustration. So in the end, after all that, I did go up and get a vacuum, but that vacuum just barely worked and kind of created more of a mess that it solved, but it got enough of it off of the sofa itself, so it will do. My vacuum isn't working. It's still loud, but it doesn't suck. So I'm a bit stuck now on like how to move on from what I was trying to do. I messaged Jake and it turns out he has a vacuum down in his studio. So I've been like, hey, can I borrow it? But because he's busy doing the thing that he's doing, he hasn't replied to me in like 20 minutes. I'm like, I just need the Hoover. I'm pretty sure it's been like a couple of hours now. And Jake has answered messages that I've sent, but not the one about the vacuum cleaner. And I'm like, please just tell me what. So still waiting for that, still can't sort out the sofa. Right. I asked for the vacuum cleaner at 10 past 8. It is now 20 past 11. We're just gonna go get it before I lose my mind. Step 3. I sprayed the entire sofa down quite generously with like this bed mattress upholstery cleaning spray stuff that I got, that again is supposed to just like disinfect and deodorize and stuff. Again, just because I was just very aware of it being someone else's sofa and I wasn't happy, so I just completely covered it in that stuff. Step 4. Reassemble the sofa. So now the sofa is finally clean, smelling lovely, and comfy and ready to sit on. But it's still kind of ugly, so step 5. This next step is where the sofa cover should have been put on, but as I said, it has not arrived yet, so we're just gonna skip right ahead. Step 6, blankets. So many blankets, all of the blankets, just millions of blankets. Blankets. I really hope no one's in the studio next door listening to me because I sound ridiculous. As you can see, many different blankets. I really wanted to go for blankets with a lot of different textures and a lot of different colors and shades within the palette that I'm working with. Make it cozy and comfy and just fit that sort of like mismatched vibe I was going for. I think that's good for like the base layer of blankets, but I actually still want more blankets for in here because those are like the blankets that you sit on. But now there needs to be more blankets for people to cuddle up in. I swear, like, I have like a wish list thing going for the studio just to keep all the things that I need to remind myself to get in one place, and like half of it is just blankets and cushions. Which leads us to step 7. All of the cushions. So many cushions, lots of cushions. You can probably see that now there are a lot of cushions on the sofa. It's still not enough cushions. I will be adding more cushions as time goes on until it's just an unreasonable amount. So now we have a lovely comfy little sofa area, and as I say, the fact that the sofa's brown really doesn't matter anymore because there's only a very small amount of it showing through now, and the bits that do kind of match anyway. You may have noticed that there is also a rug down. So a lot of this footage is kind of out of order just from when I was doing things. Yes, I got a rug. I undid the rug, I lifted up the sofa and realized I didn't really know how to get the rug under there by myself, so I kind of tried to just shimmy it under in the most awkward way possible. I kind of got it there, but then whenever my friends came over to help me with the painting, they helped me put it under there properly. Some other additions to this seating area include a little table that I put together and popped over there right next to it. It's just like a teeny tiny little table that works quite well. I got some fake flowers and popped those in a vase that's actually quite unsuitable, so I think I need to get a better one that will prop them up a little better, but I popped them in behind that little table just to add a little something there. There is a little lamp in behind the sofa, but you can't see it super well unless it's turned on, so I probably need to get a little stand for that. But I did add some fake plants back there. I will be adding more of those as well as some other bits and pieces, but I think the rest of the decoration behind the sofa will be the next vlog, because that whole wall is going to get a wonderful, like the whole little corner bit basically is going to get a whole makeover with lots of different art. I have a lot of it here. I'm still waiting for some other bits, but there's going to be like a lot of art, a lot of decorations and stuff back there. I did want to originally get that all done in one video, but I think to do that, this would end up getting delayed by a lot, so that'll be in the next video. One thing that I first tried to do whenever I was originally waiting for the vacuum, if you remember, was put up a tapestry. I really wanted to put up a tapestry. I got tapestries, that's what the big art was. I got tapestries and I want to hang them like up there and up there, but I don't really know how to like where to prop the ladder to do that. Do you know what, I'm just gonna set up the ladder and just see. I sort of tried and that didn't work out super well. It was too scary to try to do alone, so I gave up on that. But I put up some fairy lights. I made like a little fairy light net ceiling just above the seating area, and I was so happy whenever I got them up there and turned it on, and it looked so cute. I was absolutely delighted. It brought me so much joy. And then whenever my friends were over to help with the painting, they also helped me put up my tapestry, so now they're both up there. I have one more tapestry to go up, but it's going up on the other side. Not the other side as in the pink side, but like around the corner. Speaking of which, I got my desk over and I put that together for that corner, so that was like a whole struggle. It was... I feel like I can read IKEA instructions well, but then whenever it comes to like any other instructions, it's just awfully confusing. But I managed to get that together all by myself and put that into place. I also put together a little posture stool thing, which I did not think was going to be comfortable, and then I sat on it for the first time and I was like, oh, and it actually is very comfy, so I've got that to go at my desk. If you remember the big chest of drawers sideboard thing that I showed in the last video that I managed to get for free, I managed to slide that into the side of the room all by myself to see if it would fit in the space between the desk and the door, and it actually does fit perfectly. So my next challenge at some point soon will be to give that a complete makeover, because it's like old and stained and scratched and dusty and shelves have fallen, doors have come off, so that is going to be painted and put back together and everything, and then that has got home. And I've brought over a whole bunch of other bits and bobs for the space that are slowly making their way into the whole area. Cozy. So I think to finish off this vlog, we will first of all do a little recap of the differences that have been made in here, a little before and after of the changes that have been made so far. Hit it. Okay, so just really quickly before we get to the tour and the before and after and everything, I promise it'll be just a moment and you'll get to see everything properly, everything as far as has been done so far. I want to thank the sponsor of this portion of today's video, which is Shudder once again, our wonderful beloved Shudder. If you don't know, Shudder has sponsored us on this channel here before, and we love them because for one, we love brands that support alternative creators, because believe it or not, that's a huge problem. So round of applause to Shudder. And number two, the second reason we love Shudder is because they are a streaming service with nothing but horror and thriller content. And if you don't know, I love me some horror, so that is just perfect. I've already got some movies saved into my Shudder list for whenever we can see people again, to have movie nights in the new studio, so I am so pumped for that. So as I said, Shudder is a streaming service that lets you stream horror and thriller content. It's all human curated, so you know you're getting actual horror and thriller content and not something that AI has mistaken for horror and thriller content. Huge pet peeve of mine. Has happened too many times. It has a mixture of like big blockbuster movies, smaller indie movies, and some Shudder exclusives as well, which is really cool. And it's only $5.99 per month, or it is $56.99 per year. If you sign up to Shudder, then you get unlimited ad-free access, and you can stream it on a bunch of different devices like, you know, your laptop, your phone, because it's iOS or Android. It's also on Xbox One, Amazon Fire. I personally use it on Chromecast a lot. So yeah, endless opportunities. One of the exclusives that they have is something called Tigers Are Not Afraid, and I've been meaning to watch it for the longest time, and I so need to get around to it because I have been just constantly interested, and I just keep forgetting that one because I get distracted by other things, but that is one of their exclusives. And of course, the entire point of me telling you all of this, if you'd like to try Shudder for free for 30 days, then you can go to www.shudder.com and use the code TOXICTEARS, and that'll get you 30 days free. So yeah, once again, a huge thank you to Shudder.com for sponsoring today's video, and now it's time for what you've all been waiting for. Let's go. Okay, my loves, welcome to the updated tour, the tour of what we have so far. I've just temporarily pinned this sheet over this little doorway to create some separation, since this side of the room is still chaos. So, without further ado, So obviously this side isn't perfectly finished and there's still little things that need touched up, little things that need done, but it's a big difference. So we have, of course, the lovely swingy hangy chair. This, whenever I bought this, I thought it was a pack of 2. It was not, it was only 1, so I've ordered another one, but it's been like a month and a half and it hasn't arrived yet, so there's just one of those there for now. I put these flowers up over the doorway, which makes me really happy. I do have other fake vines that I kind of want coming out from behind that chair or something maybe, but I haven't fully decided what way I'm going with that yet. This of course needs a lot done to it. The poor thing is not looking its best. I have the doors and everything in the little kitchen area, but yeah, so this needs a makeover, but it does fit in that little gap exactly, so that worked out well because I really had no idea where I was going to put that. That's not exactly the kind of piece of furniture I had envisioned for putting there, but it works out pretty well. So I really want some sort of like cabinet-y type thing, but the only place I can think of would be there, and I really don't know if it'll fit in that gap. By the way, got a TV put in, so that is nice. It can pull out from the wall and like tilt towards the seating area. So now if I'm over here, I can have like vlogs on in the background, or I can do little workouts here with like YouTube workout videos. There is somewhere for people to sit and watch TV whenever people come to hang over for like doing collabs and stuff. And it's just a nice little chill area, so that's exciting. We of course have my lovely seating area, my pride and joy. I bought roller skates. Even though it's like horrible dark weather, so there's nowhere to use them, I've literally just been rolling around in here. Can't do a lot in here, but also that contains an outfit I need for an upcoming collab. But yeah, my little seating area, it is so cozy. Every time I sit on the sofa, I never want to get off it, and like all the different textures are so nice. The little table and everything I put together. And down here is my desk. I have some different things to like go on this desk, but they're not set up yet. I also have like a little cart thing for pants. This is the posture stool. But yeah, this is just how it's set up for now. This mirror is here temporarily, but something else is going to go there, so that mirror will be moved. I don't know what I want to do yet about the windows. I don't know if I want to like cover them up with something or what, but we'll find out as we go along. And yeah, the floor still has like a cloudiness from all the plaster and everything, even though it's been mopped a bunch of times, and it also has some like paint splatters that I need to try to figure out how to get up. But yeah, I think just it's looking so nice and I'm so excited. So let me just show you how it looks with like the twinkly lights and stuff. Yay! They have like different modes, so they don't need the glittering like that, but I like it. It's so cozy. I definitely need more like lamps in here for like mood lighting. The camera makes it look a little bit brighter than it is in real life, but look! Ah! It's so nice. Very happy. And finally, let's go over a little bit of what I'm hoping to get done in the next vlog. I'm hoping in the next vlog we can start making progress on the pink side of the studio, because that would be good to get that on the go. Right now it is just a chaos land of boxes. I have a lot of pieces of furniture to paint, a lot of pieces of furniture that just generally need done up, other little bits and pieces to paint. There's a lot of things like that that are going to need done for in here. Hopefully get things tidied up a bit more. I'm hoping to have this corner like properly decorated in the next one, which I'm very excited for. I can show you all the art that I've got and all the little bits and pieces that I want to add, and then I'm hoping that this will become one of my filming backgrounds eventually in one way or another. And then of course I will have one in the pink side as well. I of course now have my desk as well that I can make things. I've been dying to like just get started immediately and already start like making little bits and pieces, but I'm still trying to do up the studio itself, and that is one big craft project alone, so I'm going to continue on that before I start anything new, I think. But yeah, there have been such big changes. This sofa is so comfortable, it's so soft and squishy, and all like the different textured blankets make it just, and the cushions, I just like sink into it and I never want to leave. I love it. I also gave my hanging chair a blankety makeover, and now it looks much more appropriate in the space. So yeah, there's plenty for us to get stuck into next time, but for now I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it turned out well. Recording these is always very confusing because it's hard to imagine how things are going to turn out whenever I edit it together, and a lot of things like end up out of order and everything, and I just have to cram it all in, but hopefully it was enjoyable anyway. Please leave me a comment and just let me know what you think, and just, I don't know, I really want to hear from you hear from you guys on this, because it has just been something so exciting to me. So for now I'm going to go. Now that this side's been done and like you've seen it and it's not a secret anymore, I can start hopefully recording some of my videos over here. I'm sure it'll still be back and forth between home and here, but that's really exciting too. So yeah, as I said, leave me a comment. Also give the video a thumbs up please, because I'm so proud of this project, and I really just I just want you guys to interact with it. I'm so excited. Sorry if you can hear noises, it's a helicopter out. If you're new here and you enjoyed this and you want to see more adventures of this studio, then do do feel free to subscribe. You can check out the other videos first and see what you think. Before you go, if you could check out my Patreon, that would be especially amazing right now. Patreon is always the best way to support me in this channel, and it is especially helpful right now because I am having to fund this whole project. So an extra big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, because you guys are really helping this dream come to life, and I appreciate it so much. So yes, as I say, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies!